Well, welcome to this week's Bromsgrove and Droitwich Standard podcast with me, Tristan Harris. Now, with me, I'm pleased to say I've got Councillor Shirley Webb from Bromsgrove District Council and Catshill in Bloom. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Catshill in Bloom, it began last year, didn't it? And tell us a bit about what the aims and objectives were.
Mainly to get the community together, work together with the schools, which we have done, and improve the look of the village, make it more welcoming.
Now, I know a lot about, we've covered Catshill in Bloom previously, but we've covered Rubery in Bloom, which has really taken off.
Yes.
And I suppose that's the benchmark, isn't it, to get to?
Yes, well, you see what all the other villages are doing, and there's a couple of other villages getting involved as well, which is really good, and it brings everybody together, which is the main aim.
Yeah, because I think Rubery, they have the high school pupils and they have all sorts of people.
Yes.
And looking down the list, you've got scouts helping out and God
Yes,
knows who.
yeah.
So it's really good. So to start off with, you're going to be doing hanging baskets, are you?
Yes, we've just got them in the last couple of weeks. They're looking fabulous. So all the businesses have been really supportive, and it looks lovely. Yeah.
And it does make such a difference. It's the small things, because they've been talking about this with the Rubery regeneration as well.
Yes.
Going back to Rubery, about like just painting the lampposts and things.
What a difference it makes.
Yeah.
And people notice these small things, they notice. And I think it makes them feel a little bit better.
It certainly does. And you've had a lot of business support then. So there's a list here: Knight's Pharmacy, Duncombe's Butchers, Modern Electric Tattoo, Age UK Spa, Catshill Dentist, Happy Tan, Avant-Garde, Hair Salon, Village Pets and Gardens, Harper's Hair Salon and Coventry Silver. So everybody really is getting behind this. And Harris Coaches
and the Co-op.
as well.
And Amar stores as well.
So everybody is really getting
literally
behind
everybody,
this.
yeah.
Now, you owe a lot to Singletons then, with because they've done a lot for you as well.
They've been fabulous, absolutely fabulous, really supportive. It started with those Singletons because they donate the Christmas tree for Catshill to switch on.
That's another thing that's taken off, isn't it? Every area now has got a Christmas light switch on.
And
we try and cover it, it's near impossible because you've got barn green on the Friday.
And they're all together though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. And so this is your summer project, and then you move on to Christmas.
Yeah.
So there's yourself, Councillor Joe Till involved, Chadsgrove School, they've been great. They were brilliant during Keep Bromsgrove Beautiful while doing the Great British Spring Clean.
Yes.
They were fantastic for that. And the 6th Bromsgrove Scouts, Bromsgrove District Council. Now, I've got here Bracken Grove. Tell us a bit about that.
Bracken Grove we've come across as an unused piece of land in Catshill, and it's owned by Bromsgrove District Council, and we thought it'd be a good idea to have a community garden there. So we approached the Scouts and Chadsgrove School. We got all the permissions first from Bromsgrove District Council, and we approached the schools and Scouts, and they've agreed to take on this project. And we've been in touch with all the residents in Bracken Grove, and they're all supportive. Everyone is. It has been a bit unused for about the last 8 to 10 years or so. So it's going to be a really good project.
So just in case anyone doesn't know what a community garden is, you grow flowers obviously, but you grow mainly like vegetables and fruits,
herbs,
and that's also good for people who are on a tight budget as well,
Yeah.
families that can't maybe afford to, because when you go to food banks and stuff, there's a big food bank in Catshill, isn't there?
Yes.
But when you go to food banks and stuff, a lot of it's dried and tinned and everything, and they're not getting that nourishment, the fresh stuff, and this is where the community garden come in. And plus also it'll provide seasonal stuff, won't it?
Yes, yeah.
So you'll have,
and the residents can get involved if they want to, or the Scouts and the school are going to maintain it ongoing, but the residents are quite happy. And
so if you're living in Catshill and you're a little bit green-fingered and you're at a loss, or you've got a couple of hours, you'll be hunting them down.
Yes.
So that would be great. And obviously the other thing as well, the Michael Thompson motion the other week as well about the community gardens around the district.
Yeah, it's got everybody talking.
It was great to see cross-party working in Bromsgrove.
It was fabulous for a change, wasn't it?
So that's good. So we're going to be seeing that across the whole of Bromsgrove district. And so Catshill, the community garden there will be good. You've got wooden planters as well. Mm-hmm. You're going to be sponsored by, you're going to be welcome to Catshill, sponsored by Mr. Fothergill, isn't it soon, I think? So wooden planters as well. Tell us a bit about those.
They're in a couple of places in the village itself, and 3 of them they were all built by singletons. Singletons have been really supportive. They were built by singletons, and they've been planted, 3 of them by the Scouts and 3 of them by Chadsgrove School. So the children have planted them all. And they look fabulous. And everybody's commented. All the residents are really pleased. And they're going to maintain them ongoing.
So this is it, isn't it? This is the thing, because this is what the lady Lorna from Ruby does. She's got little waterers positioned all around the village.
Yes, exactly. So you know where these residents...
these people just pop out with a watering can, water their little blooms.
Plots. Yeah.
And and I think they do it under road signs as well, and try to get it. That's the aim.
We haven't got that far yet, but we will.
They've been doing it about 5 years, so that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So there's all these Chadsgrove School again, brilliant, and the Scouts are so great. Do you remember there was the dog mess bag scheme the other week?
That's still ongoing. Yeah, they're replenishing those bottles all the time.
Yeah. So what this was, in case people missed the story in the paper, they created these dog poo bag dispensers, and they spent a Saturday putting them on the lamppost full of dog poo bags. So there's really no excuse, because there's nothing worse. And the dangers for children as well, because if it gets in the eyes, it can cause blindness, and it's really bad. And I mean, I'd run across a field to get to my mum's in the morning, to get on my bike to get to the station. And recently, I find myself diagonally like hot-footing across, and it's awful. And if you get it on, it's nearly impossible to get off. And we won't dwell too much on that. But well done to the Scouts as well for that. So, I mean, that's the thing with the community, isn't it? Like Catshill or like anywhere, you need a lot of people doing a little rather than a few people doing a lot.
Doing a lot,
yeah. And if everybody pulls together, you've got your dog poo bags, you've got your Catshill in bloom, you've got your flowers, you've got your litter picking. Do you do the litter picking regularly down at Catshill?
Well, actually, this morning I've just been out with the ladies from Keep Bromsgrove Beautiful to the local schools within my division, my county division. I've supplied some, through KBB, some litter pickers and some tabards for the children. And we've just delivered them this morning to the school, so they've got their own equipment. So come September, they will do their own litter picking in the areas whenever they want to. I think Chadsgrove are doing it on a weekly basis. And the children love it.
They do. I mean, it makes such a difference. By me,
Yeah.
there's a country lane. I live by not far from Bartley Green Reservoir.
Yeah.
And they really did it. They got Birmingham City Council on board and everything. They had a massive bin lorry following them, and they just got rid of all the fly tipping. And I cycled down there, and it was just beautiful.
What a difference it makes.
There wasn't even one spot of litter. And then obviously it gradually gets worse and worse, and they have to do it again. That's the only thing.
But I mean, KBB have been fabulous.
KBB, but it was Sarah there this morning with her golden litter picker.
Yes, she was there.
So no, Keep Bromsgrove Beautiful. We had them on here actually.
Oh, have you? Great.
They loved it. And we'll get them back in the future as well. Of course, it is Love Parks Week as well.
Yes.
So I know that KBB are working on a project there as well. And Spa have been a magnificent.
The Spa have been fabulous.
I mean, with only like a little convenience store in the village, it would be so easy for them just to sell chocolate and crisps and stuff. But they do a lot for the community, don't they?
That's how we started, to be fair. We started with the Spa. I went to the Spa and I said, can we take over these planters which are outside your store? And they were delighted, because it was just old trees, nothing had been done for years, and they were all overgrown and unkempt. So they said yes. So I went to Chadsgrove. I said, do you want to take over these planters? They said yes. So we got the place team at Bromsgrove. They took all the old stuff out, all the heavy stuff, and then the children came along and planted it all up, and it looks fabulous.
And talking of Chadsgrove, they've got their own pharmacy garden, haven't they? Well,
yes,
it's a community garden, and it's by the pharmacy, isn't it? It's not. They're not growing. They're not growing herbal substances for medicinal purposes. No, that's the next level. I wonder what grade that'd get you in Heart of England Blue.
Very much, yes.
You see, we've got this here, Fever Few, and everything else. So that. One question from my own part, are you thinking of the bees as well? Have you got any wildlife? Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to leave some sections long and plant varieties. Yes,
and hopefully ongoing we'd like to get some more grass verges within the area and do some wildflower planting, just to spruce the area up and everything.
And
yeah.
you know, Remembrance Sunday, you've got that big 75th anniversary next year, so
Yes,
maybe some
yeah.
poppies could be
Well,
incorporated.
we've already started there,
Oh,
Tris,
there you
yes,
go, you're well ahead
yes,
of me.
yeah.
So that's great. Yeah, I've got a lavender hedge on my front garden.
Oh, they're lovely,
And
yeah.
the only problem was it's like it's in a brick wall, and there's a little section in the middle. But my old lavender hedge that I planted when we moved in, it was all leggy, and you have to replace them every. I think these lasted well. They lasted about 10 to 15 years or something. But digging the roots out was an absolute nightmare. I needed to take the wall apart to get it out. But it's back in its beautiful lavender coloured, and just to go out and
the
sniff,
smell, yes.
What I do as well, actually, here's a little tip for you if you've got some lavender. I strip the flowers.
Yeah.
Put them in a clean sock, obviously, not a dirty one.
Yeah.
And then I'll hook that over the bath, and I run the water through the bath, through the lavender things. Then when my bath is run, I tie up the sock and I just let it float about in the bath. And I challenge anyone to stay awake for longer than 10 minutes in a bath of lavender like
there's
that.
my challenge.
And it's brilliant. And the next day, if you go straight to bed after, you do last thing at night, go to bed, and you know when you wake up and your eyes are glued together with sleep, and you know you've had a really good night's
Good sleep, yeah. Oh,
that's
I'll have to give that a go.
Yeah, give that a go. Lavender
Yeah.
is amazing. That can go in the pharmacy garden.
Yes, we'll put
along
that
with the
one
feed
down.
Okay, that's fantastic. Well, how can people get in touch? That's the next thing.
They can get in touch with me, they can get in touch with Catshill Village Hall, or Councillor Joe Till, any one of us.
And Facebook page, got a Catshill and
We've
Bloom
got
Facebook
Catshill
page?
Councillors Facebook page, so
Yeah.
they can get in touch with there. We're on Twitter. How else?
Is there a Catshill in Bloom Facebook page?
Not yet. No,
That's
not
on
yet.
your to-do
That's
list,
on.
no
Yes,
doubt.
it definitely is.
Because the good thing
yes.
about social media and like Facebook and Instagram is
It
you
reaches
can
so
send
many.
the pictures, can't
Yes,
you? And
yeah.
once you share the pictures.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's good. I think the next stage for this project with Catshill in Bloom and Ruby in Bloom and any other blooming places we've got, I think they ought to twin up with other places. You know, like in the twin towns.
Yes, yeah,
that'd
could
a good
be,
one,
could
couldn't
be a
it? You can have some
possibility.
in Bloom twins.
Yes, yeah. The more the
That'd feel
merrier.
good. That's what you want to do. So yeah, please get in touch because they're always looking for a helping hand of full of green, little green fingers, to ready to plant and de-weed.
Yes, and
As long as you
maintain.
know, I never know what I'm doing most of the time. Am I pulling out the wrong things? And
You learn as you go along.
Yeah, you do. Some weeds look good though, don't they?
Well, they do.
They do.
They're
Like
a bit
your Welsh
difficult to tell.
poppies are supposed to be weeds and stuff. Leave them in. And obviously the bees. So yeah, thanks for joining us. Are you going to hang around and chat about some news stories? Are you all right doing that?
Yes, can do.
Cool.
Yeah, that'll be lovely.
Okay. We've got... going to start with this one. A Droitwich woman she's responded to the protests outside a school in Birmingham about the teaching of relationships and equality, and she's raised £3,320 to get some books for the book packs for primary schools across the country. So Tracey Evans, she's 48, she decided to take on the action as part of No Outsiders in the School scheme after watching the reports of protests on the television outside Anderton Park School in Kings Heath. Are you aware of the story? It was all to do with the teaching of LGBT, and the parents were claiming that it was, or some of the protesters were complaining that it was wrong to teach LGBT to primary school children, but the argument from the school and the argument from everybody who's in favour of this scheme is that it's not like, you know, it's not kind of inappropriate sexual education. What it is it's you know, it's teaching you that everyone's different, and some kids have two mummies, some have two daddies.
Exactly, yeah.
There's one about a boy who likes to wear dresses, and a fairy tale about two princes. So they're lovely. They're done in the best possible way. It's about relationship education, and it's not at odds with the argument, let children be children. So what she's done is she's raised, well, she might have raised even more by now, but she'd raised to date 3,320, and I think that gets about 15 or 16 packs of these books. There's 35 books in the pack, and obviously with limited resources for schools and stuff, she's going to do like a prize draw. People get in touch and nominate schools, and
Very
then she's
good.
going to get these packs out. But yeah, so well done to her.
Yes,
We've actually got
excellent.
Richard Burden this week as well. He's Westminster Diary because he writes one every month for us. And he's actually on the same subject. So
good.
that's quite a bit of an issue this week. This is the next one I'm going to do is brilliant. This is such a feel-good story. A Bromsgrove girl stepped in to complete a 5k mud run to raise funds for the charity which helped save her mum's life. Kelsey Middleton, she took on the Cancer Research Challenge, Cancer Research UK mud run in Worcester for her mum, because her mum, Jess, she was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer last July at the age of just 35. She discovered a lump in her right breast, and after prompting from her friend, she went to get it checked out by the GP. She underwent tests and then received the devastating news. Since then, she's undergone grueling chemotherapy, 2 operations, radiotherapy, but now she's been given the all clear. So she was all set to do this mud run, which happened on Saturday, and unfortunately, she got an infection, and they said, the last thing you need to be doing is running through mud. So her daughter, who is 12, said, I'll take your place. And she's completed the 5k
sweet.
mud run. So that's big up to Kelsey and to Jess. And well done. And they've raised more than £650.
Excellent.
And she wants to say a big thank you to Team Jess on the day, who was Hannah Woodcock, Abby Woodcock, Nicola Gwilliam, Becky Pierce, Tia Pierce and Ryan for running alongside young Kelsey. So well done to her. This is one of my favourite stories of the week. We've got a Lookout Lion, it's called. It went live this morning, and we've revealed this as part of West Midlands Ambulance Service. They've been working with Staffordshire Police and Staffordshire Fire and Rescue Service, which I know is not in our area, but this will cater for the whole West Midlands. And what it is this cute lion called Lookout Lion. We've got the video on our website, so bromsgrovestandard.co.uk or droitwichstandard.co.uk. And the little lion is in a little video that teaches kids how to ring 999 if they're in an emergency. It's been purposely released just before the school summer holidays, because who knows what can happen. Obviously, nobody wants to think of a young child being in that position where they have to ring 999. But if anything happens in the home, they're just suggesting that you teach kids the 999 number. Obviously, the lion talks you through it. He's called Lookout Lion. Stay calm. Ask for what service you want, and also teach your kids as well, very important, because this is 4 to 7 year olds. I did it with mine this morning because I'd just written this story, so I checked her. I said, what's your address and postcode and everything, and she was all right.
Good.
She's 7 at the end of the month. So just check your kids know their own address and everything. Well, that's handy as well if they get lost on over the summer, because when you're out and about, and every parent's worst nightmare, I know. So you've got that. And the Lookout Lion. So check that story out on our website, and you can click through to the video as well. You can watch it with your kids and teach them how and when to ring 999. Obviously,
fabulous.
Not a lot of the time you need that, but that one occasion it could make all the difference.
Makes difference, yeah.
We've got the school summer holidays coming up, as I said. No doubt Claire's got loads of things you can be doing over the school summer. We've got Avon-Croft Museum's got a load of stuff on, Artrix, and I think in this week's paper we've got some Birmingham stuff as well, like the think tank. If I get time, I have to fit a lot into my week, but if I get time, I will do a massive guide, because I've been a play worker in the past.
Right,
and I used to do play schemes in the summer and stuff. So I know how important it is to parents to have something to do. And you don't want things that are going to cost an arm and a leg.
And you've got the street theatres as well.
You've got the street theatre as well. That I was just reading through that before we left. So we've got the street theatre in Bromsgrove, and that takes place across the district as well, doesn't it?
It does.
Withall, Hagley, Bromsgrove Centre, Rubery, all the usual haunts. So we've got all that to come. So that'll be on. We'll have the details of that on our website and in the paper as well. But just before we go into the break, the summer break, let's mention Trudy Purser. She's a well-respected teaching assistant from Droitwich's Chawson First School, and she's been at the school for 28 years.
Wow.
And she bids a fond farewell this week for a well-earned retirement. So Mrs. Purser said working at Chawson has been a delight. It's such a happy and friendly school with a real community feel. I feel privileged to have supported so many children and families over the years, and along with dedicated staff, I'll miss them greatly. Head teacher Helen Wallace said everyone here at Chawson is going to miss Mrs. Purser. She has touched all of our lives in so many different ways. She's always put the interests of the children first, and has been so supportive of everyone. Now, you can always tell when you do a story like this. We put it up this morning at 7 a.m, because we're sneaky and we always put things up at 7 in the morning. So when you turn your phone on, you click on it. But we put it on this morning, and the comments on Facebook, not just from obviously parents who've got children at the school there, because 28 years spans
it's a lot of
3
children.
generations or something. So there's people who not only have children there now who absolutely love Mrs. Purser, but also parents as well who had Mrs. Purser when she was in the early stages of her career. So we wish Trudy Purser well, and that's about all we've got time for the news section. But keep it here, because Claire will be up next with the entertainments, everything you could ever know or need to know about going out and about in Bromsgrove, Ruby and Droitwich.
For all the things to do and see this week, it's Claire Bullivant with this week's What's On Guide.
Thanks, Tristan. Yes, we've got some fun things happening this week in town. My name is Claire Bullivant at the Bromsgrove and Droitwich Standards, and these are my top picks of things to do and see this week in the Bromsgrove and Droitwich areas. Starting off on Friday, the 19th of July, we've got some great live music happening about town. Dr. Cornelius will be performing at the Hot Pole Inn in Bromsgrove on Friday night. And if you haven't seen them before, they're a really fun local band who play the best of soul, funk, disco and dance. Always a great time at the Hot Pole Inn too. Hopefully we'll see you there Friday evening. Or is ABBA more your thing? If so, head on over to the Artrix on Friday evening, as the ABBA reunion will be there. Now, these guys aren't just any old ABBA tribute band. They are the creation of an award-winning West End director, producer and choreographer, and star the original Frida from the London West End cast. From Mamma Mia to Dancing Queen, all of the greatest hits will be performed. And I'm told there is an absolutely amazing, jaw-dropping finale, which will really take you back to where it all began in 1974. Apparently, you'll think you're at the real ABBA reunion. Tickets for Friday night from the Artrix, artrix.co.uk. Also at the Artrix on Friday night is Michael Messer's Mitra. This is in the studio, and this comprises of British blues innovator and slide guitarist Michael Messer, Hindustani slide guitar maestro from India Manish Pingle, and London-based tabla master Gurdane Singh Riot. And this is more than a meeting of musicians from different cultures. This is a band with a successful album and its own unique sound. They're truly incredible. It's quite a musical journey. If you're into your music, do go along and experience them. Get your tickets from the Artrix for Friday night in the studio at the Artrix there. Moving on to Saturday, the 20th of July, there will be a street theatre, dance, music and singing on Bromsgrove High Street. It sounds like a movie, doesn't it? It's all going to be hosted by BBC Hereford and Worcester's Tammy Gooding on Saturday. This is still all part of the Bromsgrove Festival, so find out all the details and how you can get involved on their website, bromsgrovefestival.co.uk. Also on Saturday, if you're feeling energetic on Saturday morning, get yourself over to Sal Warp in Droitwich for a 5k trail run at the beautiful Churchfields Farm. 9 a.m. start there. If you haven't been before, get there a little bit earlier because you need to sign a waiver and everything. But meet in the barn or just outside the barn, and all the details are on their website, churchfields-farm.co.uk. Also on Saturday, Aston Fields Social Club has an open day festival type thing going on all day. There's going to be live music, a pig roast, drinks promotions, on all day there from 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. astonfieldsac.co.uk for the information on that. And it doesn't stop there. It's a busy old day on Saturday. It's also the 2019 Music Fest Children's Opera happening at St John's Church in Bromsgrove on Saturday. This is an opera about Sabrina, not the teenage witch, but a spirit in the Severn, the River Severn apparently. And this is the world premiere for this brand new opera. So it's the first time it's been shown anywhere in the world, and you can get to experience it at St John's Church. If you want to go, get your tickets from St John's and let us know how it is. I'm hoping to get along, but hopefully one of our editors may be able to go as well, because we need it written up on. It's a premiere in Bromsgrove. Then also on Saturday evening, the English Electric Lightning Band will be performing at the Hot Pole Inn in Bromsgrove. They're always good fun. And the fabulous Scarbucks will be putting on a show at the Gardener's Arms in Droitwich on Saturday evening too. And it surfs up Summer Days 65 at the Artrix in Bromsgrove on Saturday night. This is the spectacular Beach Boys tribute band, reliving the magic of 1965 with a trip back to the Beach Boys' heyday. In 1965, the Beach Boys were apparently riding high. They had 2 classic albums from that year that were rammed with summer classics and gorgeous ballads. You'll hear songs like California Girls, one of my favourites, Help Me Rhonda, Then I Kissed Her, When I Grow Up to Be. That song, I love that one. Do You Want to Dance? Gosh, they've got so many great hits. It's going to be amazing. Tickets from the Artrix for Saturday evening. Then moving on to Sunday, the 21st of July, there's the Studley car boot sale, as always, on Sunday morning. B96 6ER is the postcode for your sat-nav on that. Gates open at 6 a.m, so get there super early to pick up a bargain. Or perhaps you have some items that you fancy car booting. All the details, if you want to do that, are on their website, studleycarbootsale.co.uk. There's also a festival morning service with St John's Church Choir at St John's Church on Sunday morning, 10:45 a.m. start there. Then in the afternoon, head on over to Sanders Park as the Arrow Valley Brass Band will be performing there. This is always one of my favourite things to do on a Sunday. If the weather's nice, take a blanket, take a picnic, or just take a stroll around the park and listen to the live music that's going on from 2:30 until 4:30 p.m. It's absolutely free, and it's just such a lovely thing to do, isn't it? Then in the evening, it's the 2019 Music Fest Gala concert happening at St John's Church. This is described as a symphony of love, sunshine and blue, blue sky. How nice a description is that, right? It's going to be an uplifting programme of orchestral music from Wagner, Grieg and Sibelius that will stir emotions, they tell me. 7:30 p.m. at St John's Church on Sunday evening. Perfect way to end the weekend. Then moving on briefly to next week, on Monday the 22nd of July, the Great Outdoors at Avencroft, the Great Outdoors at Avencroft starts. This is where your kids can join in bug hunts and animal trails, forest fun, and even make their own woodland critters. It's running every day next week until the 26th. All the details are on avencroft.org.uk. Then on Wednesday, the 24th of July, that's next Wednesday, remember it's the Bromsgrove Street Theatre happening at the Bromsgrove Recreation Ground. That's the bit of land by Asda. That's next Wednesday. Definitely worth popping along to. There's going to be street theatre, displays, stalls, children activities and workshops. 11 a.m. start there till 3 p.m. It's absolutely free, so you can't beat that, can you? And that's it for my favourite things to do this week. If you have something I should know about, do let me know and I can tell everyone in the paper, on our podcast and on our social media channels. Thanks for listening. Back to you, Tristan.
You're listening to the Bromsgrove Standard Podcast because you have impeccable taste.
Thanks for that, Claire. Loads going on as well, and just in time for the school summer holidays as well. Well, that brings us to the end of the show. A big thank you to Claire for the entertainment and Councillor Shirley Webb for enlightening us on Catshill in Bloom. We wish them well with the project. And remember, if you want to get involved, just search for it and you can contact the councillors. That's Joe Till and Shirley Webb as well, and they'll be able to point you in the right direction of what you could be doing. So if you've got a couple of hours to spare, please do that. Don't forget you can get daily updates on our websites, bromsgrovestandard.co.uk and droitwichstandard.co.uk. You can also email us through there. And also, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, because that's where the conversation's taking place. We've got loads of comments on there and things like that. So please follow us on those. And yeah, all that's left to say is we'll see you next time.